All right, so we're diving deep today into Jim Kwik's Limitless. Upgrade your brain, learn anything faster, and unlock your exceptional life. That's the full title.
Quite a mouthful.
Yeah, this is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we want to pull out the stuff that can actually make a difference,
Yeah.
for you, the listener.
Yeah.
And maybe look at a few different angles on how to boost your brain power. So practical stuff, but also a balanced view.
Exactly. We want to kind of go beyond just like skimming the surface of Limitless and really see what like resonates, what you can actually use.
Okay, so Kwik, this whole approach kind of hinges on this thing he calls the limitless model.
Right.
It's mindset, motivation, and methods.
Okay.
It's like, first, you got to believe you can improve.
Mindset.
Mindset, exactly. Then you need a really strong reason why you want to do that.
Motivation.
Yeah, motivation. And then you need the actual, tools and strategies.
The methods.
Yeah, the methods, the how-to stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And that mindset piece is really important, I think. Like, it's foundational. He talks about limiting beliefs, these kind of like unconscious ideas that we have in our heads.
Oh, yeah.
That hold us back. So, for example, you might think like, oh, I've always been a slow reader.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names.
Right, exactly. And Kwik would say, well, that's actually a belief that you can change.
Yeah.
It's not set in stone.
It's not a fact.
Yeah. And just imagine how much that could change the way you learn if you could shift that belief.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the motivation part is interesting, too. It's not just about kind of wanting to learn.
Yeah. Right.
It's about connecting it back to your bigger goals.
Your big why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you understand why learning something is important to you, you're way more likely to stick with it.
Absolutely. Tapping into that intrinsic drive.
Yeah.
And then that's where the methods come in, like the actual techniques.
Right.
So he covers things like memory strategies, for example. And one of the key ideas there is using associations. Like if you want to remember a name, you could try to link it to someone you already know.
Right.
Or like a really vivid image.
Like if you meet somebody named Bob and they have a huge beard.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're going to remember Bob with the beard.
Bob, the beard. And then he also talks about ways to improve your focus by like minimizing distractions.
Okay, so this is where it becomes really relevant for the listener.
Yeah.
Right? Like imagine walking into a meeting.
Yeah.
And actually remembering everyone's name.
Without that awkward.
Yeah, without that,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Or being able to read through those long reports for work.
Yeah.
Much faster. And still actually remember the important stuff. I mean, Kwik's book offers strategies that could actually help you do that in your daily life.
In real life.
Yeah, whether it's for work or just personal growth,
And the benefits are pretty amazing when you think about it. Like faster learning, better memory, increased focus.
And that confidence boost you get.
Huge.
From actually seeing yourself improve. It's like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, it shifts what you believe you're capable of.
While those ideas are really compelling, it's also worth asking, are these techniques universally effective?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Does a memory trick that works for one person work for everybody?
Right.
What do you think?
I mean, the underlying principles are probably pretty sound, but the specific techniques, those might work better for some people than others. It depends on how you learn best, and the kind of information you're trying to learn.
Yeah, your learning style.
Exactly. So if you're a visual learner, that association technique for memory might be amazing for you, but someone who learns better by doing things might benefit more from physically writing things down.
Okay. And what about the science behind all this? Some of these methods have been around forever, right? But how much evidence is there really that all the claims in this book are backed up by solid research? It's something to think about.
For sure. It's good to be a little critical.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember, too, that even with the best methods, consistent effort is still key.
You can't just read the book and expect to be transformed.
Definitely not. No magic bullet.
You got to practice to make those techniques a part of your routine.
Yeah, it takes time.
Okay, so to sum up our deep dive into Limitless, has shown us this really cool framework for boosting our learning potential. By focusing on our mindset, our reasons for learning, and those practical methods, and while the possibilities are really exciting, you got to remember to find what works for you as an individual.
Yeah.
And commit to practicing consistently.
Yeah, find your own version of Limitless.
Exactly. And that brings us to a final thought for all of you listening. Considering what we've talked about today about your own learning habits and what you believe about your own potential, what's one tiny action you could take this week? Just one small step.
Inspired by this deep dive.
Yeah, inspired by what we've talked about. To start exploring your own limitless possibilities.
That's one thing you could try.
Yeah. Let us know.